Today, I'm going to show you how I made this Mandalorian diorama. You'd never guess, but I'm a big fan of the Mandalorian, especially the first season. I love the look of this character when we're first introduced to him, with his beat-up, hodgepodge costume made of mismatched pieces of armor. It feels very original trilogy, the classic used universe that made Star Wars so iconic and differentiated from other contemporary science fiction films. You don't know where all these pieces came from, but it instantly gives the character a backstory. And this shot, the iris door opening, the Mandalorian silhouetted against the exterior, the introduction of his theme music. It's a clear reference to the classic westerns when we see our hero walk through a set of swinging cafe doors into the saloon before a big tense gunfight. The first step in this build was to fabricate the overall structure of the walls and the circular door opening. The saloon is a circular wood-domed structure, so the doorway wall of the diorama angles in slightly to replicate that. I built this structure using styrene sheets. They come in a variety of thicknesses, and it's great material for scratch building models. They used this to build a lot of the ships in the original movies. After building the general structure of the doorway, the next step was to fabricate the wood planks. I used paint stir sticks, which are a good size for the scale of the diorama, cheap, and easy to weather. This was probably the most tedious, but satisfying part of the build, measuring and cutting all the individual planks, cutting the tongue and groove sections where they interlock. I held everything in place while I was mapping this out with painter's tape and clear scotch tape. Once I had the planks cut and sized, I needed to stain and weather them. Here you can see all the pieces laid out and ready to stain. That's Charlie in the back, probably looking to get a hold of one of these to chew on. And here they are, all stained and then assembled into the main sections, getting ready to glue to the styrene structure. I used sandpaper and a wire brush to rough up the wood, round off all the corners, and just generally make them look like beat-up planks versus smooth fabricated paint stir sticks. After that, I glued the door frame pieces together, which are made out of, you guessed it, styrene sheets. I used Bondo to fill in some of the seams, then taped it off to primer and paint. And here it is, fully painted and assembled. Since it's an icy, snowy planet, I added some Citadel snow. No hard rules here, just sprinkle it on to taste like salt on some smoked Kadu pork ribs from Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. For the exterior of the planet that you can see through the doorway, I wanted an illuminated background that would act as a secondary light source and feel more vibrant than just some printed image. In Photoshop, I combined the wood plank walkway from the shot of Mando walking towards the bar itself with the buildings and sky from this profile shot of him walking his bounty back to the ship. I had this printed as a vinyl sticker, which I attached to a sheet of styrene, which helps diffuse the light from the LEDs behind it. This is held onto the back of the diorama with magnets. The LED panel is another sheet of styrene with an adhesive LED strip laid out in a circular pattern. Grogu, the pram, the cargo box, and the Loth Cat all come from a separate Hot Toys set. They didn't come with the Mando figure. I know it's not canon accurate to have all this stuff in the scene, but I wanted some details in here so it felt a bit more lived in. And you gotta have Baby Yoda on your Mando shelf. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you catch all the future shelf breakdowns. This is the way.